Yo, hey, what's up, guys? Here we are. We're here. I'm trying something new. I'm trying the whole headset thing. I don't look as cool as Tim Pool or those guys, but I'm curious how good or bad the sound is. I've got it much better. I'm trying something new. I'm trying the whole headset thing. Oh, there we go. We are live over here. That doesn't sound very good quality to me. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't lie to you guys. At least not your face. Hey, Mike, what's up? Mike is here. We're gonna give him a shout. He's one of our Blue Star members. So, Mike, hats off to you. Good to see you, brother. We're going to look at WanAnimate today. I've been playing a lot with this. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of stressing me out a bit. I feel like I need to build the business. I need to be making stuff for you guys and doing stuff. And all I'm really doing the last couple days is playing with WanAnimate. I think it's WanAnimate. Um, so I've been playing with all this stuff. I got to figure out what to do with it. We're gonna take a look at it here. Second Point just popped in. What's up, Point? Good to see you. Oh, there's Laminar Lambs. What's up, Lamb Chopped? I ain't seen you in a bit. Lamb is another one of our Blue Star members, so hats off to you, Lamb. Hey, oh, good to see you. Good to have you around. I don't think we're going to do the wacky races today. We'll keep that for Monday, but we can always keep a sight on who's in what order here as we get more. So yeah, so I've just been playing a heck of a lot with uh, WanAnimate. Let's see what we got over here. So I have done things that are really cool, and I have done things that I'm ashamed of. I've been all over the spectrum with this. Let's look at some of these things I have discovered. I'm going to get into the details of this, by the way, so don't worry. We're just kind of flopping around at the moment. But I have discovered that Ronald McDonald works really good putting it into videos. So WAN has turned out to be one of these things that it's hit or miss. Sometimes you get some really good stuff, and sometimes you don't. Oops, we're back to that one. We don't want that one again. Let's see here. So I'm going to show you some tips, the things that I've discovered with it. Would love to be there. Hey, there's Jams. What's up? Pumping up the jams. Pump it up while the beat is jumping or something like that, and the jams is jumping. Oh, how the crowd is jumping. So yeah, doing a lot of stuff, like I said, some honorable, not some not so honorable. Nine is here. Nine, good to see you. By the way, this videos here, I had forgotten how good Fusion X is. This is all Fusion X stuff. Um, it's funny how you forget good stuff is because stuff comes so fast. Where's this one? Come on, bring up my Taylor Swift video. Why is it that right when I get to the one I want, that's got to be Murphy's Law, right? There we go. Sometimes it really nails the likeness, sometimes it doesn't. So I think you could probably figure out that's Taylor Swift. Yeah, so Point's saying the same thing about Fusion X. He went through his 2.1 stuff and find out it's just as good as 2.2. So I'm not going to go all the way there and say that. I'm going to say I think the WAN 2.2 gets better animation, but I think the quality of The WAN 2.1 Fusion X stuff is just beyond. I mean, I'd forgotten that I did these. I would make like 50 of these. I'd leave them on for a few hours. That's supposed to be Trump, but it didn't really. It looks more like him crossed with somebody. But again, these are all videos that exist, and then we put another face in there. Whoops. Face in there, which is what makes WanAnimate really incredible. So these are all taken 2 to 3 minutes. Although it is funny, it says it's about 2 minutes, maybe three. I feel like that it might not be correctly doing it. It feels like it's a little bit longer. Like there might be some stuff that it's not grabbing. 9 says that 2.1, 2.2 has a better prompt adherence. You know, the thing, all these videos, all these videos, they, the ones that I was just doing, those Fusion X ones, those were all text to video too, which is again just kind of, again, really impressive. Because usually you get the really high quality, dang it, you usually get the real high quality stuff with your image to video. I got a bunch of ones like this that were turned out really good. Let's see here if I can throw a few more of these in. Let's crap over to here real quick. Oh yeah, let's throw some other stuff in here. I had another one of these that turned out really good. She actually had the horns from the original thing on there. I've had some struggles with as well. Oh, this was the original. This was the original one here that we were getting these ones from. That was the original, like this stuff we made from it. Um, oh, going back to the war one. This is funny. I threw in a friend of mine. It made this. I think this would be like the ultimate 3D VR headset. That actually really looks like her. That really kept the prompt. Check out this thing. It just randomly made this. This would be like the ultimate VR system. You just plug yourself in. It's like eyes, head. They probably got smell in there. Probably got some neural thing putting drugs into your system to experience. I'd buy it. That'd be like the ultimate VR system. That is pretty funny stuff. All right. So I think that's pretty much okay. So let's look at the actual workflow here. So you guys can share some of the stuff you do. If you got link, go ahead and share what you've been making, the safer work stuff. So like I said, I have done all over the spectrum, and I will say that this is not a it is not a safe for work only workflow. So you can fully get your perv on with this workflow. Do whatever you want with this. Yeah, damn it, I got flies all over this place here. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the workflow. I am going to show you really quickly something I just did here. I don't know how you guys install your Comfy UI. You know we have the free one over here at comfy.getgoingfast.pro. I have just updated it, and it's a huge update. the preloaded nodes. Okay, so or I call it the loaded model. Let me see if I can find a thing over here. Hold on, just a second. There we go. Um, yeah, so this is the new loaded version of the Comfy UI, and essentially what I've done with this is I've added a whole bunch of custom nodes into this. So I know a lot of you guys get frustrated, me too. Like we're trying to install stuff, we get a new workflow, we've got to add new stuff, and it just ends up breaking our Comfy UI installation. So I tried to head that off by putting all of these in here. These are ones that obviously they're not. I can't cover every possible node, but these are ones that pop up quite a lot, and they have all the accelerators in there, and I went ahead and fixed several errors. So this even has the Onyx runtime. Like when you're loading up Comfy UI and you get all these warnings and stuff. I went through each one of those, cleaned it all out. So this is probably this is the best version of the Comfy UI manual. This is the one I'm going to start just using. Does take longer to load because it's preloaded, but you can get it over here. So anyway, so that's what I'm using over here. Um, when I want to go ahead and reinstall my Comfy UI, because I mean honestly, I end up doing it a lot because a lot of stuff ends up backing itself up over itself. Let's go over to here. I just use that one. This is the free one I give out to everyone, so you can give it to other people. I just do this click to install Comfy, and it does it. So I have like 3 or 4 different installations at different times. But at any rate, you guys can use that and hand that on to over people. But let's go ahead and look at the animate workflow. Um, Now I don't have a lot of screen space here. Yeah, and this actually is going to be a great example of how stuff doesn't always work. But anyway, so here's the workflow. If you guys haven't seen it, um, it's it's a decent workflow. It is frustrating. You have to honestly, this should probably be up here because you do a lot of popping. You got to add the image. So where you add your image that you're going to put into the
Right here.
picture. This is where you end up putting the so where you putting the video. Okay, really quickly, Jams asks, is the Comfy Loader for Windows or WSL? It's for Windows. So it's for Windows, and Comfy UI only works with NVIDIA cards anyways. So there you have it. Just put this over here. All right, so now one of the things, so where we start, okay, the most important stuff is this. The things that I end up spending most of my time with is you've got these width and height boxes. And so depending on the video you're throwing, like I'll throw this in here, and if this isn't set properly, obviously it'll come to its preview over here, and the preview will be off. So you always want to be popping over here to make sure you got this right. But here's the key thing with this. When you're running a new video, you pretty much have to waste a run, or at least part of a run, because we got to get everything into this points editor. That's what this thing is called. So it's actually putting these points. So you're saying these are the areas that I want to. These are the areas that I want to generate over. Okay, and these are the areas I don't. The red ones. So let's say we're throwing in this Taylor Swift one here. I'll go ahead and run this just for a second. I hope it doesn't crap out my system, but let's just run it to see what happens. And I'm going to get ready to cancel it. And I have to do this every time I throw in a new video into this. It'll throw it into the, you'll see this, there it goes. Okay, it changes. Now watch over here. We'll get the bad one here, so we got to delete that. But now notice what happened. Okay, couple things. One, I screwed up the width and the height, so I've got to go change my width and my height. Yes, and Point is pointing out that this is just a mask. That's correct. But we still have to load it in there. So unless you want to take a screenshot and throw it in there, the only way to get it automatic is to run it and then cancel it once it's loaded. But yes, you could take a screenshot of your video and then load it. I'll show you how to do that real quick. Okay, so cancel that. Now, Point says there is pause nodes. I don't know what that means. So maybe Point, you could show us what you mean by that. I don't know what pause nodes means. So there might be a better way to do this. This is how I've been doing it. See, now I've now I've froze up the damn screen. That is another thing that I was going to point out about this workflow that is kind of obnoxious is it ends up crapping out your resources. And I've had this issue a lot. I might actually have to close down. I think so that I don't end up losing you guys. I think I'm going to hard drop comfy. Huh. Yeah, I freaked it out. That's why I don't like generating this stuff while I'm live streaming because it ends up hurting stuff. Although I think this seems to be an issue with Chrome. So let's see if we can just crash that down real quick. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rerun that. Okay. So, anyway, okay, a few things I've noticed. One, obviously, what you just witnessed is there is massive ability for this stupid thing to eat your resources. And I've found that I can do three, four, five of these things at a time, and it'll be fine. But then all of a sudden, I'll just hit a point where my resources are gone. So one of the things that I added into the Comfy UI loader thing is this, and I can't remember what this comes with. Let's see here. I think this is part of the K tool. I think it's this thing called K tool. So you can add this manually, but it does add this little dude, and he can clean your VRAM for you. So my VRAM was already fine, but I'll actually run this sometimes in the middle of generating, and it actually kind of helps. So, all right. So anyway, so notice these things. We've got. Okay, so Jam says, I wish we could replace the masking with segment anything. Well, here's the trick. It actually is segment anything. So if you look over here, God, okay, I've gotten so lost here. There we go. This all over here is segment, SAM2 segmentation. So what it's doing is it's actually using these points, and then it's segmenting it, and then that's why you get. Oh, it's not there now, but you get the blocky looking thing. Now, I did play with this. There's something called a B-box mask where you can go like this. No, that's not how you do it. Hold on. There, you can do that. Okay, and that's actually called a B-box, and so you can stay focused on this area. I believe that Quinn 3 Edit uses this. And now here's the thing: you've got a B-box thing here, but if you connect it to your SAM segmentation too, it will not work. So you actually need to build. I built a whole workflow and I forgot to save it. You need to add some extra nodes, and you can do a roundabout way so that you're really just focusing on the box. You're going to need to talk to ChatGPT about that. But anyway, I'm getting lost in the weeds here. The point of this was that you lose resource. So first of all, add your K tool thing. This little guy here, it adds it. You can move him around. This will actually help you clean up your VRAM. And like I said, I run that sometimes in the middle of stuff. And now again, I don't know what point was meant about pausing the nodes. You know, if you could get it to just go here and then stop. But so to get the points to show up, I got to press run, and then once they pop up, I stop. Now you can add different points here by holding down the shift button and then left clicking. So I could put all the greens in the world. Bing. Okay. And if you do the right button, you do all the reds. Okay. Now, here's the trick though. When you do that, you actually screw it up. So you really don't want more is not better. Um, it can be really difficult. I've really played a lot with this. Say like I want to keep the dress, but I want to change the head. It's not as easy as you think. You'd think like just put a green on the head, put a red down here, maybe down here. Um, it's not really that easy. Typically, it's going to grab the whole thing. But you can play with it. And I have discovered again, the better the quality of the video, the more they're looking straight at the thing, the easier it becomes. But anyway, this is the points editor. You cannot have more reds than you have greens. So actually, if you tried to run this, it would throw an error. You can hold down the control button and you can click on these to make them delete. But notice you can't, I won't be able to delete the 0 or the 1. You cannot delete the bottommost one and the topmost one. So let's say I add a bunch of these. So I've got 0, 1. I won't be able to delete the 4. I won't be able to delete the 4, but I can delete the 3. I can delete the 2. You know, it kind of switches it around. It makes you keep at least one of these. Now with these, all I did was I just grabbed the face. And the segmenter is actually pretty good with these. That's why I was able to get so many different ones. If you want to change the hat out, you know, I could put a green on there. Now I will say, we go to get images like, let's say like this one over here. Let's say I grabbed this image. It does not, for some reason, it does not work well with this. It'll put my hat on there. So it cannot separate the face from the mask. I've had a little bit of luck. If I right click and I go to open in mask editor, I've had a little bit of luck with this. Just mask the part you want and you click save. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Another thing is hair. It's really difficult. I've played around, you know, say let's get this. It's really hard to change out long hair. So again, my experience has been if I'm changing out chicks, um, it might change the color of the hair. It's pretty much going to keep the hair though. If I put in a short-haired dude, so obviously I've got long hair in here. Let's say I put in, you know, here. Say I put in President Trump, right? Um, it's going to put his face in there, but it's going to keep the long hair. So that's kind of irritating. I have not found a way around that. However, if you're doing a video of short-haired dude, maybe like this one, it's much more likely to grab the hair with that. So long hair, it doesn't really do a good job. And you guys, I'd love to hear what your solutions are. I have played with this. Um, I really want to get into a full head swap, and I've spent hours trying to do it. It's almost there, but it's not reliable. It's like shooting at a basket, and you're only making it 1 or 2 times out of 10. So it's like it's there, but it's just not within reach. It's almost so. Anyway, let's see what people are saying over here. Feta says you might mention might be an issue with Chrome. I also get those freeze and hang-ups. I haven't tried a different browser. We'll do a best with Firefox and other browsers. So Mike is saying Brave browser. Mike, are you not getting freezing ups with Chrome? So it's hard for me to go to hard for me to want to go to another browser because I've been on Chrome forever. But I've heard stuff. Now, 9 says he would remove the hair first. So, 9, how are you going to remove the hair? So, you'd have to throw the video into another workflow. Wait, this is what you'd have to do. But it's a video, not an image. So, you'd have to do something like, let me load this up. Win3. Okay, so this, oh shoot, I don't have this installed yet. Yeah, see, I've got a bunch of them, but not all of them. So I can't pre-install all this, but let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm actually just loading up Quinn 3, and they've got the new Quinn 3 2059 up, which I think, wasn't there a Batman 2059? 2055. Yeah, I remember reading this back when I was a kid. Okay, anyway. Um, so they've got Quinn 3 2059, and with this, it's actually really incredible image editing. I could show you some of the stuff that I've done with this. But I think what 9 is saying is you would have to take the original image and remove the hair first, and then you'd recreate the image. But the problem with that is that the point of WanAnimate, oh, I got to reconnect, is that you're actually animating existing video. So I don't, there is no way to really remove the hair that I know of. Vase Jam says Vase inpainting workflow uses segment anything version 2. That's true, which lets you type in a word such as hair and it perfectly matches it. That's true. So what he's saying is there's another workflow for Vase, and he's accurate. I remember this. Where with this one we're using the points. The other one you could say remove the hair, which is what you do with Quinn 3, but again it's just with images. So I wonder, Jams, can you throw that into one of these? But now vase painting, is that going to be video or is that going to be image? See, I'm not a real expert when it comes to video image stuff. I'm kind of a get it running kind of a guy. Now here's the Quinn 2059. And this one is as simple as this. Actually, it looks really complicated. It's actually very simple, very powerful. This one is simple as just putting it in there and then just going it over here. Change the hair color to blue. Something like that. And it will actually do that. And let me see, I've had some. Oh, actually, maybe on Get Going Fast, I have some of those pictures. This was one that I've been working on. Where did it go? I got overzealous and started deleting a bunch of stuff. Hold on, I'm looking for an image for you guys. Did I really throw that away? Gosh. I create a bunch of nonsense and then I go through there and I throw it all away, and evidently I threw too much away. Yeah, damn it. I can't believe I did that. Okay, this is some images over here, but this is all the new Flux, by the way. I don't know if you guys have played with the new Flux. It's faster, a little bit better at prompt adherence. Um, I don't know if it's better than Flux, though. But I really would like to. Anyways, whatever. So I did some really good images that had to do with the cowgirl riding a horse, and then I was able to change. Where are we at? Then I was able to change it out to. Then I was able to change it out to her riding a tiger, then riding an ostrich, and removed her shirt, put her shirt back on, made her fat, made her skinny, all that good stuff, and it was pretty easy. Oh, here's one of them. Let me see if I can. I don't know why it didn't show that before. Okay, I'm sorry to get cheesed off here. Whatever. I'm just wasting time now. Um, oh, there. What the hell, dude? It's like it's showing up on my when I go to the downloads folder, but then uh, when I go to load something from the downloads folder, but then it's not showing up when I actually go to it. So I don't know what that is all about. This is so not worth it once we find it. Okay, there we go. God, what a pain in the butt that was. Um, Now I've lost you guys. Okay, so this image was interesting because obviously it's sexy, it's cool, but notice she's got like too many arms. So I was able to remove this arm by saying remove the extra arm that's on the left and holding the saddle. And I had to be pretty precise. Sometimes it actually removed both all the arms, and it left the hands. But I got it, but then it didn't switch the hand up. I still had this backwards hand. And so then to get it to fix that, I could not get it to fix it. So I actually had to change the woman. I changed the woman and then it recreated all of her and then it fixed the hand. And then I changed the horse to like an ostrich and everything. Okay, so yeah, that's Quinn3 Edit. So maybe you could use that and then recreate your videos. Okay, I've got too much stuff open here. I can't tell where I'm at. But let's go back to the WanAnimate. All I really got for you is tips on that. So let's go back to where was that at? The GGUF is definitely the way you want to go. You do not want to go the other route. Where the hell is that? Guys, I'm sorry. My machine here is just kind of giving me a bad time all of a sudden. I'm like really, really careful pulling that up there. I don't know what's up there. Uh, okay, this is the original. Yeah, okay, this is the original one, and then I changed it a bit for Get Going Fast. So again, the main thing is keep your eye on the width and the height. You're going to have to load these things up to get the points on there. You can play with the B box thing again here. But again, you got to do a roundabout way. And it does actually work. You hold down the control button and you can do that. It actually does help to control what you can do, but you have to recreate it. And you're going to need to, what you can do to get you started if you want to play with that, drag your B-Box over to here and try running it. You will get an error, but then throw that error into Chat GPT. along with an image of this. Like just scroll back enough and throw it in there. ChatGPT will help you to actually create all of the other ones. So that does help. My main purpose in wanting to do that, however, was to do a full head swap. I really want to get into head swap technology, but it's not quite there. So, anyways, the rest of this stuff that you really don't need to play with. Um, it is funny, the clips down here. I don't know if they make a difference or not. I really don't feel that they do, the prompts. So like if I put a dude in there and I kept it as a girl dancing, it's still going to look like a guy. It's still going to look like whatever I threw in there. So this is actually a fairly easy one to do it. The main thing is it takes time. It's about 3 minutes for a generation. Okay, Lambs wrote a couple somethings and then deleted it. What do you guys think here? I don't really have much else to say here. I think we could probably move on with the day. Um, but I want to hear what you guys are thinking before we close out. I wish I could run this for you. I really want to run this because I want to show you something over here. This is the Quinn 3. Just on a side note, this uses that B box, the shaded thing, and I discovered that sometimes it doesn't get the whole image. So like I would change an image and like there'd be like a piece over here that did not change. Um, and you have to change that over here. I think, yeah, it's one of these. Might be the left reserve because it's reserving a piece of the box. Put those down to 0 and it'll grab the whole box. But I was literally like changing out a tiger to an ostrich and it would be like half of a tiger, half of an ostrich. Mit Zero says in my GGF workflow, I think Relight Laura is missing. Yeah, you're definitely going to need that. So if you're a member of Get Going Fast, just go to WanAnimate. Oh, whoops, sorry. Go to wananimate.getgoingfast.pro and just get the model manager. It's really easy to use. So that's what I have been. That's what I've been using just to get this stuff going. Especially, like I said, I end up installing a bunch of different comfy UIs. So when I need to get it up there, I just grab my own installer. I'll show you what that looks like and use that, and then that's actually pretty fast. So you just got to extract it and just run the model manager, and that looks like this. And then it's as simple as that. So I just click on this one full install and then I go GGUF, and so there, download. I was missing the workflow, so it downloaded the workflow. Whatever you don't have, it'll download, and then you're ready to go. So that's honestly the easiest way. If you're missing your Relight Laura and all that, just run that. Okay, I don't think there's much else to talk about here. This is really good stuff. Make sure you're sharing what you're working on. Come over to the Discord and put it in there. Like I said, I got all sorts of stuff. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what to do with it. Um, so much good stuff. But at some point, it's like it's more fun than it is practical in some ways. And again, it's not perfect technology. Like I really want to throw in, the Men in Black and then completely change it out to my face. And it doesn't work quite that good. But again, it's just like one AI is like that. You make a bunch of stuff and one thing is just knock out of the park. It's just amazing. And then other stuff, it's not. So, okay, I think we'll end it there. Let's take a quick look over at our top fans here. Mike ends up at number 1, 9 at number 2, Jams at number 3. We actually had a bunch of people in here today. Mitziris got in last minute with number 7. I don't know how Fetty got in at number 6. What a turkey that guy is. My goodness. Okay, with that, I think we'll call it good. Um, Check out your Quinn 3 2059. Very good stuff. I'll put up video about that. Check out your WanAnimate. We've got the new Flux SPRO. Let me know what you're thinking about that. All of those you can get over at getgoingfast.pro, the easy, fast way to do it. But you can also, do it just manually as well if you know how to download your things. So those are all things to look into. We got the new Comfy UI installation, which I think is really great. If you guys have any tips on what else we could add to it, let me know. Oh yeah, and keep your eye on this little fella here that comes with the new Comfy UI installation. He's actually really good for cleaning VRAM. And like I said, I don't know that you necessarily should do this, but it's been working. WanAnimate sucks your resource up really bad. And so sometimes I actually will run it in the midst of doing a generation, and it cleans it up and it keeps it going. So it's actually quite helpful. Okay, well, thank you guys. You have a good weekend. We will be back on Monday and with our weekly review with new stuff coming up. I want to get more into apps again here. We've gotten so into image and video stuff in Comfy UI that I'm forgetting where we really started, and that was just installing stuff. I want to get you guys working with Python again. Um, we've got the new tech. We've got some text transcription stuff that we did, so be sure to check that out. Oh, the index TTS is really good, and I think my plus version is quite admirable. I'm very pleased with it. So be sure to get a copy of that. I did, oh, what is it? We did a video over here on using multiple Pythons. So if you're having problems with your Pythons, go watch that video. Here's a nice one. If you got people that have old computers and they want to get into it, send them over to this video. This stuff they can run even on old crappy computers. And I think that's pretty much everything we've got for. Oh, this, by the way, just really quick, this lossless cut, I'm using this all the time. This time I'm pulling down YouTube videos, cutting them, using it, and I use lossless cut. This is my new go-to app. So be sure to check that out as well. Okay, you guys be good. See you on the flip side. Come hang out with us on the Discord. It's Friday night, so we'll be playing. Maybe I'll put on something we can all watch in the channel there. But they're coming out in the voice channel. I'm hanging out in the voice channel more often. So we'll catch you later and be good to each other, yo.